Hey guys, the second season of Peacemaker is already upon us. Many media outlets have watched it, and the most impressive thing is the rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Amazing how James Gunn pulls this off again. So, let's discuss the initial reception of the Peacemaker series because, look, it seems DC Studios will deliver another great piece for us. Also, there's something else I wanted to mention that's been popping up on social media. It involves that scene where Hawkgirl kills the dictator of Boravia, Vasil Gurkos. It's confirmed that this will be significant for the future of the DCU. I think it's worth discussing as it could even impact the next Superman film, like our theory of Superman against the Justice Gang. All right, folks, there's a lot to talk about in this video, but before we start, don't forget to hit the like button, comment below, and subscribe for more content like this. Also, follow our other social media, Instagram and Threads, where I'll keep you updated on this universe we love. Now let's talk about the second season of Peacemaker. Well, the embargo is lifted, and the first reviews are out online. We have the good old Rotten Tomatoes. And look, with 35 reviews, Peacemaker Season 2 has a 100% approval rating. In other words, everyone approved the second season. It's not a case of a bunch of sixes making a high Rotten Tomatoes score because the reviews are positive. No, people genuinely enjoy the series. There was even a review comparing it to the Marvel universe regarding the multiverse, because Peacemaker has a multiverse too. And the review says, and I love this, look, James Gunn is teaching Marvel how to do a multiverse. There were many praises for John Cena as well. They talk about his performance and how he has matured as an actor. But I think the most impressive thing is the praise for the script. Because, you know, we really have this classic multiverse story, and James Gunn manages to give it a lot of heart, emotion, and humor. People are praising the humor, but also the drama. That's what I was saying in the trailers. I was betting a lot on this drama because it seems like a typical multiverse story. The guy travels through the multiverse, meets another version of himself that he thinks is better, but he has this whole journey of self-discovery, realizing how good his current life is. To me, that's a classic multiverse story. I see that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness tried to do this a bit because Doctor Strange travels to other lands and meets that evil Doctor Strange, right? He meets his worst version, and in this case, it helps him on his personal journey in that film. And here it seems that James Gunn, based on the praise, I haven't seen the series yet, but it seems he managed to bring this idea just in a way that people really like, in a well-done manner. If it's really well done, each will judge for themselves. I will judge it tomorrow. Many people have already watched it. I mean, many content creators who have seen it early. And from what I've seen, most liked this second season of Peacemaker a lot. But look, I'm really excited to see this series, especially after watching the Superman film on streaming. I got even more hyped with these first reactions from people I know who have watched it, and everyone praised it a lot, saying it's as good as the first. But still, I'm not fully convinced it'll be as good as the first. I think that's very hard, but I think it'll be something like an 8. I'm expecting it to be something like an 8, and if it is an 8, it will be the best live-action superhero series of the year. Was there any other superhero series above a 7 this year? Well, I think not. And look, who would have thought by the end of the year, DC will have the best movie and the best series? I love that. You know, right? The Rotten Tomatoes score means nothing unless it's 100%, then you can rub it in your friend's face that your favorite series has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Just kidding, okay? All right, let's move to the next topic, which is what I really wanted to discuss. This information that the death of the Boravian dictator Vasil Gurkos will have major implications for the future of the DCU. So I hope this information is true. I hope they take the consequences of this death seriously because, like it or not, Hawkgirl killed someone. And she did something Superman didn't do at the beginning of the movie because Clark knows it's wrong to kill. So he never considered killing the dictator. But look, his actions ended up inspiring the Justice Gang to get politically involved in these conflicts. But this Justice Gang, specifically Hawkgirl, doesn't have the same moral rules as Superman. So Clark ends up inspiring people to do things like him, but those people don't share his moral code. Just think about the huge problem this could cause, and I can't imagine Superman wouldn't conflict with this Justice Gang. And of course, it's important to say Superman still doesn't know that Hawkgirl killed the Boravian dictator. Maybe he'll never find out, but eventually this Justice Gang might end up killing more people, or Clark might discover what happened, and then he could clash with the Justice Gang. And I like this idea because it could lead to some really interesting paths. First, because we could have some kind of sequel to Superman inspired by Superman vs. the Elite. I think that's my favorite piece of media outside comics regarding Superman. It's what I love most about Superman. This idea of him facing heroes willing to kill creates a very interesting dilemma for a story. But that animation for me is 10 out of 10. And I'd love to see James Gunn try to do something similar. So it's possible that, James Gunn might work the Justice Gang into something like the Authority. I think it's a bit what Rick Flag Sr. said, right? The world belongs to metahumans. So the Justice Gang could gain much more political power from now on. And how does that affect the world? Couldn't they change their name to the Authority? Would you accept this team becoming the Authority? I confess the chance of becoming the Authority is unlikely, but conflict with the Justice Gang, I think that's possible. What I also think is possible is that this team ends up becoming the Justice League after Superman, let's say, alters it. If there's really a movie where Superman conflicts with the Justice Gang, maybe he joins the team. And seeing that this team has morals he disagrees with, he might influence these people to change again. Who knows? He might even change the team's name with the other heroes he ends up meeting, preparing the ground to form the Justice League. That, I think, is awesome, and this is where I see a good story to tell with Superman. By the way, Superman has two paths to tell the story. There's all this speculation involving Jor-El that might relate to Brainiac, and maybe this is the Superman saga we've discussed, or this path where Superman influences the heroes again, so they can form a team like the Justice League, not like the Justice Gang. And as we know, this Justice Gang is funded by Maxwell Lord, and I doubt James Gunn in the long run wouldn't want to create some arc to say that it's wrong for someone like Maxwell Lord to fund a team. Whether we like it or not, he ends up having a lot of power. A team of heroes needs to be autonomous precisely to avoid conflicts of interest, especially with businessmen like Maxwell Lord. So who knows, maybe this Justice Gang could evolve into the Justice League. An improved version that perhaps doesn't answer to Maxwell Lord, but maybe to the UN. Perhaps Maxwell Lord himself wants to make a move to legalize this team at a global level, but Superman, realizing the ideals are somewhat broken, tries to help with this discussion. It's a discussion I'd love for the DCU to explore in telling all the hooks from the end of Superman. And that's what I liked most, seriously, because I see this developing into a story that reminds me of many impactful DC stories like Kingdom Come and the second season of Justice League Unlimited, which is my favorite Justice League animation, It shows how much power heroes have to influence the world and how humans fear these metahumans and how they react to the presence of metahumans influencing global politics. And this, for me, gives an excellent story, and that's what I want James Gunn to do. Of all these things I want to see, this is definitely it. I see far away a spark of the Justice League being born from this. Since we're so far from the Justice League, we don't know what it will be like, but maybe it comes from here. If this is James Gunn's plan, go for it, James Gunn. I trust you. I really want you to do this. This story has so much potential. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I have other ideas, but I think the video is already too long for this theory. Let's save those theories for another video. So guys, these are the updates from the DCU. Please comment below, and don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.